Let's get into the details now. The debate over fuel pricing has intensified after Goil's free breakfast for customers followed recent pump price reductions that have heightened competition with rival Star Oil. While customers welcome the price cuts, the developments have reignited calls to scrap the fuel price floor, a move the NPA says could destabilize the market. Former Power Minister Kwabena Donkor is warning against removing the price floor, arguing that the current situation should not be encouraged. And he joins me on Zoom. But before we go to him, let's check what's happening at the Goil station. We'll go to the Goil station also. Dr. Donkor, we're grateful for your time on our desk.
Thank you. I appreciate being with you.
Well, with Goil and Star Oil now competing aggressively through price cuts and even promotions, free breakfast, doesn't this suggest the market is already competitive without a price floor?
Well, two factors impact on petroleum pricing. One is the world market price, and two is the exchange rate. When you have a strengthening and relatively stable cedi, it has a downward pull on petroleum prices. And when this coincides with a general downward pull on world prices, crude and related prices. So that is the situation we are in. So we are benefiting from two major factors: a lowering of the world market price and a strengthening of the cedi. This is the basis of what we are experiencing now. And like every other consumer, we welcome it. So that is the premise, that we welcome it. But we must also recognize that in the policy arena, when you deregulate, that is when you need a strong regulator. So deregulation goes with a strong regulatory regime. Other than that, cartels will form, and ultimately the consumer will suffer. So that is clear. Again, as a nation, we have decided, as a matter of policy, that petroleum products should sell at the same price across the whole country. This is very unique. We don't have that in all African countries, but in Ghana, that is the policy position we have adopted. And this policy position is backed by law, including the LI establishing the Uniform Petroleum Pricing Fund, which is to fund the policy. So that is the baseline. OMCs are free to compete on price, except that they should not go below the floor price. As of today, no OMC is selling at the floor price. Let's establish that. Right. They are all selling above the floor price at relative differences. The differential is relative to the floor price. So let's take that. My challenge, and what I am against, and indeed I will personally be petitioning the National Petroleum Authority, is the ability of oil marketing companies led by Star and now Goil, joined by Goil, to differentiate between their filling stations. In the network, if you want to discount across the whole network. You see, there is national cohesion implication. In this country, the poorer part of the country is generally the northern part of the country. So if you take cement as a product, cement sells at a higher price of the country than the richer. And it is for this reason that in petroleum, because of the multiplier effect of petroleum pricing on industry, on transportation, on agriculture, etc., this country decided that there should be a uniform price for petroleum. So in the context of deregulation, we are saying that OMCs are free to set their prices within the band. Let's also remember the regulator is to protect both consumers and the industry. If we allow a cartel of OMCs to dominate to such an extent that someday they will be able to determine prices that are anti-national cohesion, will run into problems.
So, Doc, but consumers appear to be benefiting from lower prices and incentives. Why shouldn't policies support more of this competition?
No, nobody is against competition. Nobody is against competition. But you don't compete to the extent that you destroy the industry. And then in another 2-3 years, we'll come back that the industry is unsustainable and therefore government should come in to help. That is why I say the regulator has to protect both the consumer and the industry from predatory practices. You can do promotion. In fact, I grew up on a filling station, then again. They do promotion. They will test engine oil, calendars, other promotional items. It's always been with the industry. So yeah, I have nothing against the breakfast being offered elsewhere. My challenge is the price differential arising out of a so-called discount regime. If you want to discount across the whole chain and not in selected places. That is what is against both the spirit of the law and the letter of the law.
Right, right. Still coming to the price floor issue, isn't it limiting innovation, also promotional strategies that could bring real savings to consumers?
Let's forget we live in a world where if you allow entities, especially marketing entities, if you allow them to be unregulated, they will lead us into a ditch. The errors of this world, we haven't forgotten of them. And therefore, there is a need for regulation. And regulation must be fair, must be transparent. As long as it's fair, it's transparent, it protects consumers, and it also protects the industry from predatory practices. That is what the regulator is supposed to do.
But does it not
the question is not whether consumers are benefiting or they are not benefiting.
Right.
In the current, that any other will be benefiting because prices, we have a more stable and strong cedi, and then the world price is falling. So we will have benefited anyway. The gimmicks are for market share, and that should not undermine national cohesion. That should not undermine national policy. And let me state this. They are quoting a 2024 MPA guideline. You cannot amend policy. You cannot amend the substantive law by guideline. Let's get that straight. There is a hierarchy of law. You can't amend substantive law by guideline.
Well, what about the fact that the price floor could also be protecting inefficient companies at the expense of, consumers?
Are we saying the regulator is not market savvy? Do we have an issue with the framework? You see, the regulator just doesn't fix the price floor out of thin air. There is an agreed formula. If we have issues with the formula, let's take a second look at the formula. But we cannot allow a sector free of regulation. Because when you do that, to all intents and purposes, our thinking will be short-term. How do I gain short-term market advantage with no regard to the sustainability of the industry in the long term. Remember that the Ghanaian state earns a lot of revenue from that sector. So it is also in the interest of the state to make sure that the sector is sustainable and that the sector is not distorted to the extent that it becomes a challenge.
Well, if you insist the floor should remain, what safeguards can be introduced to ensure that dominant players like Goil and Star don't manipulate the market through, non-price incentives?
The floor price is not static. The floor price is established after every review period. The 2-week review period. They look at the world price, they look at the landed price and then establish the floor price. So it's not a static floor price. And as of today, no company is selling at the floor price. They are all selling above the floor price. So if the floor price is a disincentive, at the very minimum, they should be selling at the floor price. But they are selling above the floor price. So that argument is moot.
Mr. Kwabena Donkor, grateful for your time. So what advice will you give Star Oil and Goil, who seem to be at each other's throats to lure customers this morning? What will be your advice to them before you go?
No, they can do their promotion. And I have nothing against the breakfast or the other promotion. But they must sell at the same price across all their stations. They should not discriminate from station to station in terms of the so-called discounts. The price must be the same across their network. As long as they do that, I absolutely support their commercial drive for market share.
All right. Dr. Kwabena Donkor, thank you very much. He's former Power Minister, sharing his insights on this fuel price war. Now, we'll go back to that later and get the updates from the Nima Goil filling station, where some free breakfast is being served. But the competition is still ongoing. We'll dwell more on that subsequently. Stephen Mensah is on phone with me now, and he's at the Goil filling station at Nima. Stephen, bring us to speed. What's happening there? Is the breakfast still going on? Unfortunately, we lost Stephen there. Well, let's do other stories. And now, pressure group Arise Ghana is this morning leading a demonstration to pile pressure on the government of Ghana to expedite actions to bring Ken Ofori-Atta down to Ghana to face justice. The former finance minister and 7 others are currently standing trial of allegations of criminal and criminal-related activities in the SML deal. But Ken Ofori-Atta and his chief of staff, Ernest Akwari-Darko, are yet to return to the country, prompting raging calls for their forceful removal from the U.S. Mr. Ofori-Atta's lawyer, Frank Davis, says the court will be considering a petition seeking an adjustment of his immigration status. And we'll do more on this very, very soon. But let's go back to Stephen and get what he is picking up from the Nima Goil filling station. Stephen, bring us to speed now.
Well, Mamesi, so the information we are getting from the Nima Goil filling station is that from 5:30 a.m. to the started this breakfast for drivers and riders, they served over 300 patrons. That includes drivers and riders themselves. And these drivers are patronizing the fuel from the Nima roundabout station. They also indicate that this breakfast, I want to take you through what this breakfast is comprised of. That will comprise of Milo and some biscuits for each and every driver that would come here to patronize or buy fuel from here. The supervisor we spoke to indicates that this will be running from Monday, that was yesterday, all through to Friday. And this will be concurrently Monday, Friday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And it starts with breakfast in the morning. And at 2 p.m., they will be serving some snacks to the drivers and riders who will be coming here. And that would also include some yogurt and some pastries for the drivers themselves.
Right, Stephen.
They indicated that.
I'm listening, Stephen.
Yes. So that would include snacks for the drivers and riders. That would be some yogurt and some biscuits or pastries for the drivers. And we've been speaking to some of the drivers who say they are really glad about the initiative God will be given to them. It's given to them, I must say. And because the fuel prices are low, which in the long term would be improving or helping their businesses. And also, the breakfast will also be supporting their stores also, their bodies.
Right. So, Stephen, you said this is going to continue till Friday. Are there other freebies apart from breakfast being given to customers?
Yes. So the supervisor will indicate that they'll be providing snacks for drivers who will be coming to patronize or buy fuel from their station over here. And then the snacks will be some yogurt and some pastries or biscuits for each and every driver or rider who will be coming here to buy fuel from the station.
Currently know the price at which oil is selling this morning?
Yes. So currently the fuel prices would be for the Super XP selling for 9.99, the Diesel XP is selling for 11.21, and the Super Raw 95 is selling for 13.97.
Thank you very much, Stephen, for that update from the Nema fuel station, oil filling station to be specific. Well, let's go now to the issues concerning Ken Ofori-Atta, and his lawyer, Frank Davis, says the court will be considering a petition seeking an adjustment to his immigration status. He spoke yesterday.
That what is happening tomorrow is a purely immigration matter. It's got nothing to do with any extradition process, whether they call it revocation of his visa, whatever, that his visa has expired. Tomorrow is an immigration hearing for an adjustment of his immigration status in America. Simplicity, nothing more, nothing less.
Interesting.
And after tomorrow, we will all know the position. Separate lawyers in America are up to the task. We are awaiting the hearing tomorrow, which will be virtual anyway.
Well, we are keenly following these court details. We'll bring you, results of that in subsequent bulletins. But this morning, Arise Ghana and Imani Africa are leading a picket at the U.S. Embassy here in Accra to demand his extradition. We go there live and now and get details from our colleague Collins Frimpong. Collins, what's the latest?
Money are collaborating to picket the embassy, demanding that former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta is brought into the country to face trial. The charges, the 78 charges from the OSP leveled against him. I have some of the protesters here from Arise Ghana who today they are holding different kinds of placards at the embassy, demanding that the U.S. government brings in former Finance Minister. Sir, good morning. You are live on JoyNews.
Yeah, good morning, and good morning to your esteemed viewers and listeners.
This morning, we know earlier Bernard Mona was talking about a number of things, reasons why he has organized this particular picketing. For you, why have you joined this?
It's not I've joined. This is Arise Ghana, and I'm a leading member of Arise Ghana. It's a decision Arise Ghana took. It's not like an individual decision. It's a collective decision taken by Arise Ghana that will drive home the fact that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta must be brought back to Ghana.
What are your reasons? Because we know that the Office of the Special Prosecutor and the Attorney General have already started the process where they are hoping that they will get him extradited into Ghana. We also know that the U.S. government through ICE has also picked him up. Today his hearing against the visa revocation is pending, that we are going to know what the court is going to say about it. Why don't you wait rather than picketing?
I don't think there's any law that says that if an individual is being held by ICE back home in his country, the citizens there cannot hold any civic action in respect of whatever is happening to that individual. There's no law that says that. It makes sense that at the time that he is going through or is appearing before the U.S. court, we are also doing this thing here, because it's actually makes our sentiment so pronounced that Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta is indeed of high interest here in Ghana. Because, mind you, this gentleman served this country as Minister for Finance and Economic Planning for 8 years, when it was even clear at some stages of his tenure that the gentleman was becoming obscenely greedy, and then he had overweening selfishness within his DNA. You understand? So, right from that time, we started calling on the Akufo-Addo government to relieve the gentleman of his position. But true to his style, Akufo-Addo, he never heeded our call and allowed Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta to bring or to plunge Ghanaians into an excruciating economic hardship that Ghanaians endured. So I know most of Ghanaians today, they are just awaiting John Mahama one day to make a call, to make a public statement that all those who survived the gross mismanagement of the economy by Ken Ofori-Atta should all come for some recompense.
We've been told that Arise Ghana is going to picket the embassy until the former finance minister Ken Ofori-Atta is brought into the country. Is it not going to be far-fetched saying that until he's brought into the country, you are not going to leave this place?
That is, you can't call it far-fetched. You can only pat us on the back that we have actually taken the decision to hold this exercise for 2 weeks. You understand? If Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta doesn't show up or doesn't come back to this country, we'll do another 2 weeks. You should be complimenting us that we are doing this civic responsibility or civic action in respect of accountability. Because if our leaders, if our duty bearers do not account to us, if we don't hold them answerable to the decisions that they take while in office, then our democracy it will jeopardize our democracy, literally. Our democracy will be in jeopardy. If we fail as citizens to hold our duty bearers to the blazing fire of accountability, our democracy will be crumbled. We will just be inviting some military, guys to take over, and we don't want that. We have gotten to the stage where democracy must be consolidated and entrenched. And the only way, or one of the means to get our democracy consolidated and entrenched, is for public duty, the duty bearers, public office holders, to be accountable, to take decisions that will inure to the benefit of the good people of Ghana.
Before we go, one last question. Earlier when we came, we saw quite a number of people here that they were entering into the hundreds. But as time goes on, we've seen that the numbers reducing. For you as a leading member for Arise Ghana, are you happy with the numbers here? No,
you think that our numbers are dwindling? No, the numbers are not dwindling. It's a strategy because this is 2 weeks. You understand? Some of our members have also gone to some radio stations and media houses to grant interviews. So they will definitely come back to join us. And as and when people leave, others come to replenish our fold. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Quick one, let me also get your thoughts. We know that you are part of Arise Ghana, you are protesting, you are picketing. Why are you here in the first place, for you in particular?
So, well, I am an activist. As an activist, I'm open to taking civic action. And this is one of the ways to demand accountability. Like you've heard from Selom a while ago, he's saying that without accountability, there can be no democracy. So my being here is to ensure that justice is served. Ghanaians have been crying out for quite a long time. They want justice. They want fairness. They want accountability. They want transparency. Basically, that is what we all want. And that is why I'm here. I have that strong call to serve, being a patriot, ensuring that the right thing is done, justice is served. This is what I have been following, or I've been doing in the past, over 2 decades. And so I still keep that fire burning in me to ensure that justice is served.
Right, thank you. So, Mame, that's the situation here at the EU Embassy in Accra. A number of police officers are also here ensuring security, both side stretch of the road and also inside the U.S. Embassy too. There are a number of police officers also ensuring that nobody goes there and also nobody get hurt. And in terms of the numbers, in the morning when we were here about 2-3 hours ago, the numbers were a bit high. That Bernard Mona himself, the convener for Arise Ghana, was here, but we've seen that the number keep dwindling, keeps coming down. But hopefully they are hoping that as time goes on, they are saying it's a strategy, so as time goes on, the number will be increasing. But earlier, when we engaged the convener, Bernard Mona, he made us understand that even though the U.S. government, through ICE, has already detained former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, and they are looking forward to his extradition pending his court case. But they believe that that is what the U.S. government and ICE is doing is different from the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Kesi Ejabin, and also that of the Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Dr. Dominic Anyini, are also doing. The extradition is different from that. So what they are doing has nothing to do with what ICE is also doing. They want the extradition process most fast, and also in the next 24 hours, 48 hours, they want to see former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta in the country. Otherwise, they will keep picketing. If they have to bring in their materials to come and sleep here, they are going to do that. And they don't mind staying here throughout the night. And also, he talks about some level of cases or allegations that have been leveled against former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta. He mentioned the recent one that the Deputy MTD for Metro Mass mentioned that the previous government sold a number of Metro Mass fleets for about 2,500 Ghana cedis. According to Bernard Mona, he believed that this was done under the auspices of former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta, so he must also be made to face charges. And that of the cathedral issue also shows that yes, Ken must be brought into the country. In addition to that, of the 78 charges that the Office of the Special Prosecutor has leveled against Ofori-Atta. So that's the situation here at the U.S. Embassy here in Accra, where Arise Ghana are picketing. But you've seen that former member of parliament is also one of the former members of parliament. That's Hobson Adoye also coming here alongside that of Bernard Mona. Let's speak to Hobson Adoye and let's. Hello, Honorable. Today, Arise Ghana, Honorable. Arise Ghana, you are live on JoyNews. Today, Arise Ghana and Imani are picketing the embassy concerning former Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta and are hoping that he being extradited and brought back into the country as soon as possible. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I am in total support with Arise Ghana and then Imani, because we need Ken Ofori-Atta back to answer some questions. So this picketing is very strategic because for now, it's around 6 in America. So I know they've gotten the message already. Before they get to court by 9 a.m. or so, they will know that, no, Ghanaians are calling for him. His court today is not about the extradition. It's an immigration issue. But we are praying that the judge, listen to the cry of the people. Now, I know President Trump is very wild on these immigration issues. Once they arrest you and then they take you to court, if you are not careful, you'll be deported. So today's one, ICE is asking the judge to deport Ken Ofori-Atta. So it's up to the judge to say yes or no. And our prayer is that you should respond positively and then deport him. Once that is done, once they deport you, it means that the authority will make sure you get to your country safe. Then the authorities here will also take over from that place. Where we are standing, I know we are standing on the borders of America. We all know that once you enter the embassy, you are in the soil of America. So whatever we are doing here, America is getting it. So let us all pray and be assured that the court will decide today that yes, it should be deported. Then Ghana will take it from here. For today, it's America versus Ken Ofori-Atta. So once America says go home, then it becomes Ofori-Atta versus the state. Are you getting it? So let us pray. And then I would like to thank all the organizers for doing this, because choosing today is, to me, is very, very strategic. So we'll continue supporting you all the time and make sure that we get the results that we are looking for. So that's what I can say for now.
So that's a former member of parliament, Hobson Adoye, there, who just granted an interview with the media there, and he joined the protest, Arise Ghana, protesting or picketing the embassy, demanding that former finance minister is brought into the country. So that's what has been happening here, Mami.
Hobson Adoye is a member of United Party, but Collins, I want to understand the security situation there at the American embassy. We know it's a security zone. With the crowd over there, how is it, affecting motorist movement, as well as has the embassy reacted in any way to the gathering at their premises?
So, Mami, when you come to the embassy here, we know that they won't allow you to take images here with your phone or even camera. And as a matter of fact, the moment we got here, that was the first thing that we were told by the Ghana Police Service, that we can't even point our camera to the embassy building. So we shouldn't be doing that. But with regards to the security-wise, a number of police officers have already been stationed in front of the U.S. Embassy, with some of the police vehicles also inside there. And just if you cross the road opposite the embassy, we have a number of police officers, more than 50 police officers already at the north end of the embassy, and also getting to the south end, both end of the road where the embassy is located. Police officers are also here ensuring security. And in terms of the numbers, not really huge that they can overwhelm the crowd over here, Mami.
Thank you very much, Collins, for bringing
the police
up to speed with the protest ongoing at the U.S. Embassy by Arise Ghana, and they are demanding the extradition of Ken Ofori-Atta from the United States. And he spoke to a member of the United Party, Hobson Adoye, not a former member of Parliament. Now, moving on, the various private transport operators in Accra, including the Ghana Private Road Transport Union, GPRTU, have agreed to deploy a joint task force to address the recent transport challenges in the capital. The unions partly attribute the challenges to indiscipline among some members, including the charging of unapproved fares and the practice of collecting fares multiple times for the same distance. After meeting with the Minister of Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikbe, at the ministry, the unions say they are prepared to personally tackle the issue with support from the ministry. This comes as many commuters in Accra continue to face challenges, particularly during the morning and evening rush hours. Fatau Bayaga reports.
Efforts are still being intensified to address the growing transport challenges within the city. The Minister of Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikbe, has summoned a meeting with some of the private transport operators, including GPRTU, among others, to tackle this particular challenge. During the meeting held at the Transport Ministry, some of the private transport operators stated that after this crunch meeting, they concluded to undertake certain measures to address this particular issue.
You are not supposed to take 5 cedis from somebody. Instead of 5 cedis, you are taking 10 cedis.
So when will we see those individuals?
We are immediately going to call our people tomorrow. So we started informing them on tomorrow's emergency meeting.
In a task force to monitor the problem that is existing now.
We think that the task force will do. And we want them to do it in all of us. We are not going to sing out with a particular a tiger or protwa or a concern. No. All of us, we want them to be one particular task force so that he will be taking care of all of us.
For the Minister of Transport, Joseph Bukari Nikbe, this meeting is very important to addressing this particular challenge.
The good is that the unions themselves are prepared to lead in the discipline of their colleagues to ensure that there are no more any floating drivers or vehicles on our roads, to make sure that they bring all of them to the terminals to load our people, and if there is need to create any system somewhere that buses will move in to help move people from one point to another, the unions are prepared to do.
He also says that the government intends to procure some buses which would help in significantly addressing this particular challenge.
By close of first quarter, we should begin seeing some vehicles coming in.
The minister also noted that investigations have commenced into the 313 buses which were sold in 2020 for 2,500 cedis each.
As for the auctions, this was what we had, but the boards are going through to see whether or not they were of correct merit for that amount. I've instructed all the management and boards to have a second look at it.
According to the Transport Ministry, if all of these measures are implemented properly, it will help to address the growing transport challenge in Accra and across other parts of the country. For JoyNews, Fatao Bayaga, Accra.
Captain retired Prince Kofi says he is not actively seeking any position in a Mahama-led government, but would not outrightly reject an offer to serve if circumstances are right. Speaking to JoyNews, the former CEO of UT Holdings reacted to suggestions that the government could tap into his experience through a public appointment. He also emphasized the need for commitment and clarity, making it clear he would not accept a role he could not fully dedicate himself to.
No, I'm not really out to get a position. I'm 70. I'll be 74 next month.
Congratulations.
Right?
Yeah, 22nd February.
Yeah. And that's not when you start looking for appointment.
No,
I resigned from the company that I built when I was 63.
I hear you, but if the government says that because of the wealth of experience,
I will not say no, but we'll have to discuss why me and what the government believes I can bring to the table. And I must have the time for it. I'm not going to do things that I'm going to do half-half. I don't do that. So your question is a bit, at this stage, maybe inappropriate for lack of a better word.
Okay.
But of course, anything that I think would be in line with serving the people and serving the world. Because we are in this world only to make the world a better place.
It'll be the same thing.
So any opportunity that comes that will mean that your world has been expanded and your impact is more, you should do it.
Well, Mr. Amobing also revealed how faith shaped how he has endured the challenges that followed the collapse of UT Bank and the long-running court case that ensued. He says his unwavering belief in God has sustained him through years of personal and legal trials, giving him peace even in the most uncertain moments of his life.
Start the whole process again, or the old judge will be giving some kind of warrant for him to come and finish the case. We filed a new case. It hasn't been heard. They haven't ruled on it, and I'm hanging. So I stay alive. I work out, I eat well, I sleep well, and I pray to God and I said, let me see the end of this. And I surely will see the end of it because I have a lot of life in me.
What will the end of that case mean to you?
Not really. It's part of my journey. And for example, I wouldn't even celebrate it. No, I don't think I would celebrate it. I just would say that, fine, this is how God kept me in check and for me to serve the purpose that I have to serve. You see, when you believe in God, things become easier.
Have you always believed in God like this?
Incidentally, yes. But I don't put it out there. I don't owe anybody to tell me that I believe in God or not.
Prince Kofi Amobing there, and you're still watching JoyNews Desk with me, Mamiesi Nyamiche Thompson. We'll be back with business after this break.
Many thanks for staying with us. I am Michelle Ajokum. Let's settle for some business stories. Now, Ghana is not a poor country, but a resource-rich nation constrained by what Professor Paul Alagidede describes as a crisis of economic thinking. rather than a shortage of wealth. Speaking at a public lecture organized by the Center for Policy Scrutiny in partnership with Joy Business, the Professor of Finance and Bank of Ghana Chair in Finance and Economics at the University of Ghana argued that Ghana's persistent liquidity challenges are rooted in how the country measures, interprets and manages its economy. There's more in this report.
Ghana's development path since independence has largely been shaped by two dominant economic traditions, orthodox and heterodox economics. While both have contributed to periods of progress, neither has delivered sustained, high-level growth for the country. Speaking at a public lecture organized by the Center for Policy Scrutiny in partnership with Joy Business, Professor of Finance and the Bank of Ghana Chair in Finance and Economics at the University of Ghana, Professor Paul Alagidede, argued that both schools of thought rely on linear economic models that push prosperity into the future, often overlooking wealth that already exists within the economy.
So what I've presented is a certain frame of mind that encourages us to look within and see what we already have, turn that around and use it to finance ourselves out of liquidity traps and external dependence. And so that's the summary of the paper. And so what I discuss as metanomics is an omnidox school of thought, which is a third way between the two traditional schools that we have been used to in the university classrooms and in our policy circles, orthodox economics and heterodox economics. So we are offering a new civilizational change, which is rooted in African philosophical thought, balance, reciprocity, and a system of knowledge which looks within in the present moment to activate what we already have for development.
He stressed the need for fiscal authorities to prioritize the adoption of a new accounting framework that better captures Ghana's true economic value and domestic resources.
I think that we need to move gradually. It is an evolutionary step for us to look beyond the fiat currency regime. Globally, you will see that shift has already taken place in many countries where resource anchoring has become quite common. So the current global, petrodollar is also going through that kind of evolution. So I believe that in Ghana, we could have that as another policy lever so that the central bank can anchor our currency in the real resource endowment, because money is really what you have with you, and you can convert that into liquidity that becomes a useful thing. And then to the fiscal authorities, we have currently been playing with taxes and debt, but we have lots of liquidity, so they move from measuring the flows into looking at the stock of what we have, and that changed the whole accounting system. So if you want to put it in simple terms, I'm actually asking for a new accounting system that recognizes the stock of what we have. So we are really about $100 million now, not 5 years from now, if we are growing at 4% from the base year that I used, which is 2024. Which also means that if you take our budget, in 2024, the total budget could have been financed from within without needing a single peso from abroad.
The public lecture was held under the theme, Rich in Gold, Poor in Liquidity, Omnidox and the Reconstruction of Ghana's Monetary Architecture.
Away from that, GCB Bank has awarded its first set of 10 monthly winners under the ongoing Part-to-Part promo as the bank steps up efforts to deepen customer loyalty and encourage stronger savings culture. Speaking at the bank's first monthly draw since the promo was launched in December 2025, the executive head of retail banking at GCB Bank, Sina Gamagati, said that the promotion was designed to reward customers for doing what they already do, saving and transacting with the bank.
GCB Bank has awarded its first set of 10 monthly winners under the ongoing Part-to-Part promo as the bank intensifies effort to deepen customer loyalty and promote a strong savings culture. The presentation ceremony held in Accra marked the first monthly draw since the promotion was launched in December 2025. Winners receive a range of household and electronic appliances, with the ultimate winner taking home a 75-inch smart television. Speaking at the event, the executive head of retail banking at GCB Bank, Sena Kamagate, said the promotion is designed to reward customers for their everyday banking activities, particularly saving and transacting with the bank.
The objective is to help our customers to do what they do all the time, that when they do business, they deposit money with us. But this time, we want to reward them for the deposits they do. And so for every 300 Ghana cedis of deposit, and its multiple earns you a point. And so the more you deposit, the more points you accrue to yourself. And then to our customers whose accounts have gone dormant, those who haven't done businesses with us for about 2 years, what we are saying is that those customers can also come back home. As they come back home, they earn a point. And so essentially, we are helping our customers build points by saving money, and more importantly, also reactivate the account to save their money. So at the end of each month, we do a draw. Now, this draw is just point building. So customers with the highest point build up would actually be awarded. As you have seen today, the number one customer got a 75-inch smart TV and a host of other electrical gadgets. And
Mr. Kamagate noted that the monthly rewards will run until April, ahead of the grand draw scheduled for May 2026, where 5 customers will win an all-expenses-paid trip to watch the FIFA World Cup in the United States and Canada.
And that's how we end the business segment. For more business news, please log on to myjoyonline.com. I am Michelle Lejekum. Amisi.
Michelle, thank you for business. That's how we wrap up today's edition of JoyNews Desk. We'll be back tomorrow with more.